Welcome to Dreamers Podcast, where we bring everyday dreamers onto the show to tell us their story about their dreams, businesses, goals, and visions. Today we've got Doug Hensel on the show. Thank you so much for taking the time out, Doug. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
My name's Doug Hensel, and I race the number 18 mini stock locally at Wayne County Speedway and Hilltop when I can get down there on Friday nights. And yeah, I just go in a circle and have a lot of fun.
Heck yeah, man, that's freaking awesome. And so who is your biggest inspiration?
So I would probably say, racing's always been a thing in my family. My uncle raced, so obviously I went and watched him, and like I tell everybody, you know, he was like my Dale Earnhardt. Dirt track's always been my thing. I just gravitated towards it. Went to school all week and couldn't wait till Friday and Saturday to go to the racetrack and hang out with my family, and just, you know, made a lot of friends doing it. And yeah, like he to me, he was the man. I watched everything he did. He won a lot of races, did it his own way. I've seen him win races and a lot less equipment than other people. So that was very that meant a lot to me, because it showed that, you know, put in hard work. It ain't all about the equipment. You know, if you can, you know, make it work with what you got. So, I mean, yeah, my biggest inspiration would be my Uncle Gary, because he's still the man to me. He don't race anymore, but he gave me my first shot in a mini stock, and here I am 17 years later.
Heck yeah, awesome. So, you kind of just briefly went over this, but how long have you been racing then? 17 years?
This year will be 17, for me.
That is awesome. Sweet. So, and has it always been mini stock? Or?
Yes, I dabbled in a street stock with my Uncle Mike for a year, and obviously my goal would always be to move up to a bigger class, but with 3 kids and a family, and I go to work. I race on the weekends and go to work on Monday. I got a 9-to-5 job. Yeah. I'm thankful for a great job, but I want to race and have fun and not go broke doing it. Yeah. So, I mean, if somebody had a ride for me that was good equipment, I would consider it, because I think I have the talent to do it, but I can't do it on my own and be successful. So that's why I stay in a mini stock, because it's affordable for me to compete and have fun, still pay my bills, raise my kids, and be a dad during the week and a racer on the weekends.
Heck yeah, man, that's awesome. And tell us about one or some of your favorite racing memories.
I mean, I have a lot. Obviously the goal is to win. That's why I do it. Obviously you want to have fun too, but I'm very competitive and I go to win. I'm not going to win every race, but I set the bar high for myself. And I know a lot of guys do too. Like, if there's a lot of tough competition. I would say some of my biggest memories are, we don't have a lot of big races, but I've won. We have a race called the Sam Huffman Memorial. One of my really good friends, it's in memory of her uncle, and I've won it twice. And it pays more money, so it means a lot to them, and I'm really good friends with her. So that means a lot to me to win that race. And then we have a race called the Michael Rose Memorial. That was a kid that raced mini stock, and he had a street stock too, and he tragically passed away. So there's a race for him in memory of him, and it used to be 2 dual races. You run a heat race, line it up by pill draw, run that feature, and how you finish that one, they invert you. Well, in 2020, I led every lap of the first feature, but the one that counted, the last one, and I got second. So they inverted as I started 24th, and in 23 laps, I drove to the front and won. Whoa. So to me, that sticks out. But I always celebrate every win. Those are special to me because they mean a lot to me to be able to have my name on that list of winners. But I feel like I celebrate every win like it's my last, because tomorrow's not promised. And with racing's a roller coaster. When it's going good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. So I always celebrate each win like it's my last, because you never know when you're going to get your next one.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that. And then, so next question I got for you is, in the perfect scenario, in the ideal situation, where would you like your racing career to go? Like, if everything were perfect and great, all right, and maybe it's already there, I don't know.
For this class, I would say it's great. Like, I feel like I've been successful. I mean, I've had people say, you know, I set the bar high or whatever they want to say. I always just stick to, I do it Doug's way.
Yep.
Like, I've had a lot of help. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of sponsors, and a lot of support. But I feel like I've done it Doug's way. Like, yes, I've won a lot of races and I've been successful. So I feel like I've done everything I can in this class, in my opinion. So I would, in a perfect scenario, I would say I would love to get like a street stock ride with somebody, or a modified, or heck, even a mod light, just something, a different class. That's a little more horsepower, a different challenge. But I would like it. That would be my goal.
Okay.
But if not, I'm very content with this class. I'm happy. I still love driving this car. No matter what I would race, I would still race one of these because I think they're a blast to run. They're not easy to drive, but I have a great time.
Yeah, sweet, awesome, man. And then so tell us about behind us. We got your car for this season. You got a brand new wrap on it. It looks freaking awesome. We'll show some like B-roll footage of clips of it and whatnot.
Okay.
But tell us about this specific car for this season. Tell us about anything you want to. Or anything you're able to tell us, I guess.
For the viewers that don't know what this class is basically, it's a front wheel drive. You take a car, you drive on the street.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a beginner. It used to be a beginner's class, but it's not that way anymore. But it's basically a front wheel drive car. No turbos or nothing. But you put a roll cage in it, and obviously you can wrap it, do whatever you want, make them look nice. You can weld the front end. And there's a lot to it. Like, there's stagger, gearing. You can change springs. I mean, it's a full-blown race car in my opinion. But it was drove on the street first. And this is actually what they call an EG hatch. It's a '93 Honda Civic hatchback.
Okay.
In the Honda world, they call it an EG. So that's what I run. I like that body style. I've been running Hondas for probably like 11 or 12 years now, and I just like them because they're so interchangeable. And they're fast.
Yeah.
So that's the goal, to go fast and win races.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So then, what has been, in your opinion, what has been the hardest part about your racing career, or the hardest challenges that you've had to overcome?
Probably. So, I've not always been successful. Like, when I first started out, I was in a beginner class and I won some races, and I moved up with the big guys. And I feel like, and maybe it's just the pressure I put on myself, but I feel like it's every year it's somebody else's. Like, I won the championship last year and the year before, so I feel like every year you do that, the competition's gunning for you, and somebody's gonna step their game up and make it harder for me to keep repeating. And that's great. That's awesome. That keeps the class interesting, keeps it competitive. So I feel like, for me, I always say I'm going to keep doing it until the young guns surpass me, because I feel like I'm the old guy in the class because I've been doing it forever. So I feel like if each year it keeps getting harder to compete, so I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve and be successful on that aspect of it. And then I say, like, when you're a race car driver, you gotta have thick skin, especially when you're successful. And that's no hate on nobody, but not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna like what you do or what you say or how you do stuff, or you wrap in your car, you can get criticized for that, or that's just part of the game, you know? Like, not everybody liked Jeff Gordon, not everybody liked Earnhardt. So I guess they're talking about you, they're leaving somebody else alone.
Yeah.
So that's been the two biggest challenges. But I guess that's just part of the territory. So I would say those are my two.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Awesome. And with that being said, what would you, if someone's aspiring to get into racing or do what you do, what would you, how would you encourage them to get involved with the industry, or to get involved with what you're doing?
I would say if you have no racing background at all, like none, like you're fresh in the sport, you've never been to a race before, but you want to drive a car.
Yeah.
I suggest you get with somebody that has been in the sport a while and let them help you, and I guess mentor you to get your feet wet and learn the basics, you know, because there's always going to be that next generation, right? So there's always going to be somebody down the road that, like my son, be the next one.
Yeah.
So I obviously want to help him, you know, get into the sport and I want him to be more successful than me.
Yeah.
I want him to go as far as he can go, and I'll take him as far as I can.
Yeah.
And so I would say to somebody that's inspiring, I say that. Find somebody that is willing to help you, that knows the sport, and take it one step at a time. It's not going to be successful overnight, but if you're going to do it 110%. Because if you do it 110%, the results will come in the end. It might not show at first, but I feel like if you give it your all and give it 110%, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. So
yeah, that's awesome. And then, is there anything that you'd like to leave off on, or anything that you'd like to share more about yourself or your car or your career or family or anything like that?
Honestly, I have a great support system. One of my sponsors, Hensel Golf Cart Sales, and him and his girlfriend Lindsay are like, Chris is one of my best friends. Like, they come to the races every weekend. We swap transmissions at the track when I broke one before. He's always hands-on. So that's cool. And I've made a lot of friends that way. But I would say it's a lot easier to be a race car driver and race every weekend when you have a supportive wife and kids that love it. So I guess I'm just blessed to be able to do it, be successful at it. And hopefully in 40 years, they'll still be talking about me and say, hey, you know, that guy was successful. He did it his own way. And he won a lot of races doing it. And maybe some kid say, hey, I want to be like Doug.
Yeah.
So that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out. I know that we both have busy schedules, especially you with the family and working and driving every weekend and whatnot. So I appreciate you taking the time out to do this interview and to talk with me. If you'd like to be set up on something similar to this, message me directly if you know who I am individually. If not, message the page and we'll get you set up for an interview. But thank you so much again, Doug, for taking your time and for coming out and doing this interview with me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man.